Hello, it's Uncommon Fossil, and we're going to be taking a look at the Arcanine EX starter deck, obviously featuring Arcanine EX as Stage 1, 280 HP, two very useful attacks. Bright Flame does 250 damage for 3 energy. You do have to discard 2 fire energy from this Pokemon when you use the attack, though. Then Raging Claws for 2 energy does 30 damage plus 10 more for each damage counter on this Pokemon. So you attack with Bright Flames, discard 2 energy. You just attach 1 energy the next turn, and assuming you're hit into but not knocked out, then you're doing some decent damage with the Raging Claws attack. So it can work pretty well that way. This is a Terra Pokemon. You can see in the upper right corner, it's got this little tiny text at the top of the card. It has this effect as long as this Pokemon is on your bench, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks, so both yours and your opponent. So useful that the Terra effect, but obviously, but limited use. It's not an ability, so it does not shut up by things that turn off abilities. It plays a 2/1/2 Charizard line, which helps with the energy cost. The Burn Brightly ability, each basic fire energy attached to your Pokemon provides 2 fire energy. This doesn't stack, so it certainly helps paying the energy costs with Arcanine and other Pokemon's attacks. It has 1 Radiant Charizard, 250 damage. For Combustion Blast, it's 5 energy, but the Excited Heart makes that much more payable. The Pokemon's attack costs 1 colorless less for each prize card your opponent's taken. So if they've taken 4 prizes, it is 1 fire energy to attack. It can't attack the next turn, but it's usually getting knocked out, so it's not usually that aspect's not that big a deal. 2 other attackers with some value, Moltres, which does with Inferno Wings 20 plus 70 more if it has damage counters on it. So if you use Magma Basin, you get the energy on it, and you're doing 90 damage. You still have to get it into the active, of course. Then Heatmor, which has Flame Cloak, does 20, and you can attach energy from the discard. Then Exciting Flame's the big attack, but it is a bit, it has its issues, as we'll see. Exciting Flame, 90 damage for 3 energy. That's not a good payoff for the cost of the energy at all. But if it has 3 extra energy attached, so 6 in total, it does 180 to a bench Pokemon as well. So that's useful. If you have a Charizard in play, then the 3 energy cost for the attack counts as 6, so you do get the extra damage. Still an awful lot to pay. I'm not sure it really has a lot of value in the deck. And a 2/2 Bibarel line for an engine, 11 basic energy, supporters 2 Raihan, which obviously lets you attach an energy from your discard if you're knocked out, and then search for any 1 card, so very useful there. 4 Professor's Research just to help get set up. 1 Klara, which obviously you don't have Rod now, so you can search for up to 2 Pokemon and 2 energy from your discard pile, and they go into your hand. So that's useful with getting some things back that you've discarded or had knocked out that you need. 3 Arven, as obviously the new supporter we're getting used to, searches for an item and a tool. And then 2 Boss, so to help control what you're attacking into. In terms of the tools you're searching for, there's 2 EXP shares, which if your active's knocked out, then you can attach an energy from that to the bench Pokemon that has this tool that's useful. And Defiance Band gives you 30 more damage if you're behind your opponent in terms of prizes. Pokemon search items for Ultra Ball. Obviously, there's a lot of evolution Pokemon, so we need Ultra Ball, and you can discard energy. Get energy in the discard with it, so that's helpful. 3 Nest Ball. I think it does need at least a 4th Nest Ball. Getting this deck set up is a bit problematic, I think. That's the weak link here. 2 Escape Rope for switching. Magma Basin, acceleration to the bench only, so that's useful. 3 Rare Candy. It plays only 2 of the Stage 2 Charizards, and that's it for Stage 2, so I think 3 Rare Candy is too many, but it is a useful card nonetheless. 1 Energy Search to search out, obviously, another energy on a turn. You need it. And then the Stadium Magma Basin to accelerate 1 fire energy to 1 of your fire benched Pokemon. You put 2 damage counters on it. So energy acceleration is obviously very powerful. We'll jump in and see how the deck works. I have been finding the deck, as I've been recording these videos, very difficult to get going. I've had a lot of games. I've started a number of videos, and I just haven't wanted to upload them because the deck is just bricking turn time after time. Honestly, when I first was playing the deck yesterday, I like to play, I want to play the deck some, get a feel for how it works before I start recording. The deck was setting up. I was winning games left and right. I went from about the low 600s for my ranking into the low 700s, went up like 100 ranking points pretty quickly. And today I'm back down to 600 because I just am losing game after game. The deck's not setting up. I did notice I'm going first or second. If I'm going second, it's okay. If I'm going first, not so good, right? That's the way to look at this. And I didn't notice, right? I have research because, it's getting these basics into play turn one. A lot of times I just don't get, I get maybe one Pokemon into play or something. Not much at all. So, so I go second, get to research. I'm going to have to discard a Charizard, which I don't love doing, but I only need one Charizard. The ability doesn't stack, so that's okay. The Beach Cord actually helps me. It gives me the option to pivot my Moltres out of the active if I want to. I might just leave it there and let it get knocked out also. The opponent's setting up pretty well too, right? They have 3 Pokemon in play, Battle VIP Pass, so they will get at least 5 into play. So they're probably going to attack with Cramorant next turn. Now, Cramorant does 110, so it does not one-shot my Moltres. It's water Pokemon, but its attack damage is not affected by weakness, so it will just do 110, so I can survive a hit from Moltres. Giratina is a really bad matchup, and that's part of the problem. I'm having Giratina crushes this deck basically. Giratina's basic attack does 280 at one-shots. Arcanine EX and Arcanine EX at 250 does not one-shot the Giratina. So the Giratina V-Star, it's a brutal matchup. If they set up, it's basically going to be a win for them before I can get going. So getting 2 cards in the Lost Zone, they will probably be attacking with Cramorant next turn, and then Giratina the turn after. So losing, let's think here. I guess I attached Defiance Band. Defiance Band, not a reason not to. I research away the cards I have. I don't want to attach Magma Basin by hand. All right, so not terrible there. So a Growlithe down for sure. Let's see. So one Arcanine's prize. So I do have Klara also to get access to things. So Growlithe, I will accelerate to a Growlithe. I want to. What's the other card, right? The safe play would be to get down a second Growlithe. If they gust up my Growlithe and knock it out, good for them. And I will hit concede if that happens, right? Because honestly, I'm not in a great position. I think I need a Bidoof down. I could retreat. I think I want to let the Moltres get knocked out. I will accelerate to the benched Pokemon there, to the Growlithe. And I will end turn here, see what happens. Hopefully, it's possible they can't even knock out my Moltres. That's actually pretty optimal for sure. Then I actually can get my Charizard set up. I can get at least then I can attack full damage with my Arcanine EX because I can accelerate a second energy with my Magma Basin, right? I have Rare Candy with well, no, not necessarily. I need to get more cards in hand, right? So I'll have to think this through, what I'm going to get. So I'll see what I top deck. It's a bit awkward now that I think about it. I've been recording a bunch of videos trying to make this. Honestly, my voice is getting really sketchy at this point. So I think I'm going to have to make this the final video. And honestly, the deck, yesterday, I was playing the deck just to practice it because I want to get used to it. The deck was setting up really, really well, winning game after game. Today, as soon as I try to said, okay, I'm going to start recording, I just been losing badly and not setting up. This was an okay turn one. The problem is this is a really bad matchup too. So part of it's the deck doesn't set up. The other part of it is there's better decks out there, right? And this is a deck, obviously, that they're giving out for free. It's a very solid deck. All right, well that's good for me. I'm going to survive this turn. I don't know if I survive much after this, so we will see what happens. Well, that's quite nice. So I play, and then I have X. I might not be able to attack though, right? Because I have my active Pokemon. I might not be able to get it. So I can Bibarel. So the Bibarel should be highlighted. This is where things are not quite right here. Right, it should be highlighted that I can use this ability. So I can get Charizard into play. All right, so I will. I should have Charizard in deck, so I will. I'm going to keep the Growlithe. I want to play that down. I don't think I get to attack though. That's the bad part. But I'm advancing the board state, right? So that has value. I think this is the best plays. I will accelerate to my Arcanine EX. The problem is my opponent may gust me up, knock out my Arcanine EX, and I basically just lose the game. So I do this. You know, it's the best I can do. I'm still in a bad spot. Like I said, if they have boss, they will probably, right, they're at, what are they at? They're at 5. So Coerce Experiment, and they can use Mirage Gate. They don't even need that Mirage Gate necessarily. They just need to attach per turn. So now they can use Mirage Gate this turn. They can't use Boss, though, so that's good. I guess they could play Cross Switcher, but they need 2 of those, so probably that doesn't happen. Yeah, so I'm going to have to hit into the Giratina. I assume they'll send up Giratina. They might not. Their smart play is to hit me with Moltres, right? I mean, knock out the Cramorant knock out my Moltres with their Cramorant. Then hopefully I draw into Boss and can hit into the Giratina. I don't knock it out. Actually, potentially I could, right? That would really be ideal. No, the Defiant Band's attached. I only play one Defiant Band. I was thinking I could use the Defiant Band to boost it, right? I would be behind Defiant, or is it Defiance, right? Defiance Band would get me the knockout, but that's not to be. All right, so I have an attack. I can take a prize here. Not a very good prize, though, right? So what do I want to do here? Raihan. I guess I want to try to get Boss, though, right? I need Boss. Boss is the better play. So if not, I'll use the Raihan. All right, I got Boss, so that is nice. Do I have a... Where's my other... All right, so I'm going to play... So I do 250. They're going to knock me out, which I don't like, but that's okay. It gives me some hope, this game, right? Some hope. And of course, my opponent can Sableye me at some point also. So I'm going to Boss up there. If I had Defiance Band, I'd get knockout. I'll bench the Bidoof, right? If I could get a second Bibarel up, that helps for sure. 250. That's okay. So the good news is I can knock out Giratina next turn. And Giratina ruins my day. So honestly, if they knock me out, but then I take the follow-up knockout, I don't mind. That Sableye is also very bad for me. They're at 7. They're at 9. They're one more away, one comfy away from getting 10. 10's the magic number for Sableye's attack, and it's also the magic number for Giratina to use its second, its V-Star Power, which is an attack. At this point, they will probably use Giratina's first attack, and that puts 2 energies in the Lost Zone, so they'll be at 11. So, what am I going to do here? Right, that's the big question here, right? I think I send up Growlithe. I should have, yeah, so they did 280 damage, put 2 energy in the lost zone. I will send up the Growlithe. I need to, actually I can just use the first attack on Growlithe, right? On Arcanine, right? 30 does 50. Which Pokemon gets it? Okay, so he didn't even need that energy, but it goes there. Again, I don't like the, I don't know if I said it in this video, the animation for this is very confusing of the EXP share because I can't tell which Pokemon has the EXP share. All right, so do I want to... So I have... Wow, maybe I attack with this guy, with the base. Do I have another Growlithe in the deck? I think I do, right? So let me do that. I have knockout off the Growlithe. So I think I just want to attack with Growlithe, not with Arcanine. Or maybe I think I want to get down Radiant Charizard, right? That's safer, right? Because that will take out anything also, just for one prize. So he does 70, takes the knockout. Attach. I will Bibarel. So, alright, so Arcanine. I think, do I put down a Bidoof or not? I think I wait on that. I don't want to evolve him. Let me hit my one card, see what I get. I could make... No, because the problem is they can take out my 2 Growlithe, so I don't want that, right? So I'll just make this play here, take the knockout. The thing which I'm having a bit of trouble with, I'm well behind on prizes. Obviously, I'm up again. I'm in a tough spot for sure. They're going to take out the Growlithe, I assume, and something else. Now I have the follow up with the Radiant Charizard, right? He will one-shot the Sableye. Then I want to get in play my other Growlithe. The problem, let me think, with that, let's see, they need 70, which means they have 50 extra, so 50. So that puts 110 on Radiant Charizard, so they can knock that out with Cramorant. But 110 plus 90, so they can't take out the Growlithe next turn. So maybe I should have thrown down the Growlithe that last turn, now that I think about it. Maybe I Klara for the Growlithe, though. That might be the best play. Because I can Klara. What's the energy count? I have no energy there. Okay. Oh, because I have been using some Magma Basins before, and I've been using EXP share. So that's why there's no energy there, but that's okay. All right, so they're getting up there another Giratina. That is essentially going to be game for them. Again, this is a tough matchup. Honestly, this deck is performing as well as it can in this matchup, I think. I got a reasonable start. We'll see what their choices are for how they're going to do things. They're going to take a prize next turn, and then I don't think I can... I mean, assuming they can evolve to Giratina V-Star, they're going to win. That's what I would say. Now, I could... If I boss them, I could win, right? If I hit boss, the odds of hitting boss are super, super, super slim, though, right? So what do I want to do? I want to get... So maybe I want to fail this one. Let me look at all. Let me see. Do I have boss here? I do have boss here. So I'm gonna dig for boss. That's what I'm going to do here. So I can't play everything, can I? So let's see, get rid of. I want to get rid of Arven. I might need Klara still, though, right? Now I can play the energy, right? I can get that card back with. So, all right, so I'm going to make this play. I'm going to get Growlithe, which I will put into play. Okay? That's all right. I can attach. I'm going to play the energy. If I hit boss, I am really liking life. I missed boss, so I'm not liking life so much. All right, so what do I want to do here? So I'm going to. I needed to hit boss there, and I don't really have any more options to get boss now. Wait, 70. Is that going to be bad for me? It's okay, right? It's okay. I don't think it matters. I'm trying to think if it hurts the math on me. I think I just attack now. Unfortunately, I didn't hit boss. I hit boss. I definitely had a chance there. I think I did the best I could to get boss. I was still behind even if I took that out, right? A Giratina because I still needed 2 more prizes. They're going to one-shot my... well, it depends. They still have to evolve. If they can't evolve the Giratina V into the V-Star, I could still win the game. If they evolve into the V-Star, I don't think I have a chance. I guess I have an outside chance still, right? They can't... We'll see what they have here. They should be able to evolve, right? The one is... They have 1 in the prize. I don't know. Do they play... I don't know if they play for recovery. So, all right. So I have a chance. That's what I will say. I think I have... Do I have energy in there? I have 1. That's enough. They're down to 1 prize. So I really need to... And So I'm going to Klara here. Oh, no, I don't want Growlithe, right? Do I want the Charizard? I don't know. Probably not, but maybe, right? I don't need energy in hand. I'm not sure about the Radiant Charizard. I mean, they probably win this next turn, right? So I'll throw down the Radiant Charizard. Why not is what I'll say here, right? Why not? They probably have game this turn, so I discard 1 energy, right? Because I have Radiant Charizard. I have Charizard in play from Go. In theory, the problem, but I probably can't fit my hand down. I'd have to top deck boss basically. They can't if they don't evolve. I could win, right? They can take the prize off of a barrel with Sableye. So I wonder, there was a pause there. So maybe maybe they don't have the V-Star. They need V-Star and Mirage Gate, right? They need Mirage Gate still to get the energy up. They have Boss, but wow. So maybe they don't have it here. They do. Okay. So they do 160. So yeah, I think so that gets them what they need. I assume they just need 1 energy. All right, so they have it. Good game to my opponent. Let them take the prizes here. They need to wrap it up though quickly, or I'm going to hit concede. So, right, you have game. Let's take the knockout, or I'm hitting concede. All right, good. I like to let my opponent take the prizes. It does get them a better reward. We're in a community together. It's not a competition to get the most rewards. They get more rewards, and it actually might benefit me too, because the more prizes that get taken in the game in general, I think it gets a little more for both players. So anyway, the deck, a longish game. Let's jump in one more. Let's see if we can get the deck to actually work and win a game. So that is a really bad matchup. Obviously, you see a lot of the Giratina Lost Zone as one of the starter decks, either in the form of the actual starter deck or a modified version, right? Because it can be improved also. And it's just a deck that is it's a really bad matchup for it. And unfortunately, you see a lot of it. So Arcanine EX, it's prone not to setting up. If it does set up, you don't want to see that matchup. So see what happens. I go second. That's not necessarily bad, because evolution deck, I'm not doing a lot turn 1. All right, I'm going to try. All right, I'm going to give myself the option of attacking turn 1. I need to switch though, right? So it's a bit of a risk. Might be a bad play. I was hoping to take like the cheap knockout with something. I have to hit into no, I don't have to hit into switch, right? I can attach. I'll probably attach to Bidoof. Yeah, so I can attack. So that's nice. I lose a Magma Basin. I don't like. That's not so good for me, for sure. I don't want to retreat yet. I'll accelerate. So I'm up against the Ralts deck. That's not bad. Not bad there at all. Do I want... I'm in a bit of a quandary here. All right, well, I want to get... I think a Charizard in play. I want to just try to get all my pieces. I'm going to be greedy. I want to get things set up, right? Yeah, because they might not be able to knock out my Moltres, depending, because their next turn is tricky, right? They need to... my thought is, right, I can retreat. I attack. That energy in the discard's fine. And I don't knock them out, right? If it was a Ralts, which, they would have preferred in a sense, but I would have actually taken a prize, which is good. Now, I've weakened the Wide Ear, or the Word Ear. Okay, so they can retreat it off. What are they going to do? The Growlithe. So if they can knock out the Growlithe, of course, that's a plus for them for sure. So we'll see what happens here. So my turn, not bad though, right? Awkward though. Awkward for sure. All right, so I want to evolve here. I think I want to attach active, right? I believe I do. I'm going to research. I can get, yeah, I need to research. I can't get Rare Candy and Charizard into hand at the same time. So I'll bench. Oh, I have rope. Okay, so I'm going to attack this turn for sure. That way I also managed to, oh, sorry, bumped the mic. It allows me to accelerate energy to the Arcanine. Sorry, I bumped the mic, and I hope I got it set up in about the right spot. Anyway, so well, they want the wide. I don't knock out the. Okay, so they're giving up a prize, which I kind of like that. So I'm going to accelerate to my bench guy, right? Evolve him. Do that. I don't need to energy search because I attach per turn right to to Arcanine EX, get him up. I can attach return to do big damage next turn with him, so that's good. So not a bad start in this matchup at all. So it's going for sure. I get the first prize card, boss. So that's a nice get for sure. So I have a choice right now if I don't get judged between boss and Arven. My opponent does not have a lot of cards. They set up the Klefki. That's more of a defensive card. It really doesn't do anything with this deck, I don't think, at all, in terms of stopping me. So I might want to boss something up. We'll see what they get going here. I can boss something up. One of the difficulties with the Gardevoir deck is I can't one-shot the Gardevoir EX. And to two-shot it, I have to gust it up twice, right? So what are they going to do here? It does 10 damage, discards a tool. Okay, so they play Espeon, which has the EX, which then... All right, so I'd probably just knock him out. Actually, maybe I want to knock out the Kirlia, right? Make their life a little bit harder. I think I want to do that, right? So, do I want to knock out the Kirlia? Kirlia is not bad to knock out here. I think that's the play. I knock out Kirlia. It hurts their engine, and then they need a rare candy to evolve. So I think this puts them in the worst, in the most detrimental position, right? I will take an energy. I'm out of energy in the discard pile. That's okay. I'm going to attach to the Charmeleon. I can attack with it sometimes. It does have value. So my opponent concedes. So there we go. Get a win from the deck. So it's a half hour into the video. It's a long video. The first game was long without not a lot happening. So showing that the deck can work, right? It's a deck that's fairly straightforward. Getting set up early really is the weakness. I do like Arcanine EX. I got to say that, and I think I am going to want to spend some time modifying this deck to see what it can do. This build is not as consistent as I like, but it is a fun deck with how it plays, and it can set up, can win, and can I'd say try it out. Have fun with it. It's a deck that's a bit of a run hot deck, from my experience, which means it runs cold too. But there's a lot of decks like that. So take care.